So I came across this interesting thread on Reddit. So user stumbling through life said, what's an old person habit you've adopted because it's actually a really good idea? And I wanted to talk through that because A, they're great. B, as your elder millennial friend, I think it's time to start sharing some wisdom with all those younger whippersnappers out there. So here we go. It's the Dex Vidal Show. Hi friends, it's your boy Dex. They say age is wisdom. Turns out, older people commonly embrace a lot of habits that we all can benefit from. So let's jump into some of my favorite responses to the question, what's an old person habit you've adopted because it's actually a really good idea? One response said, quote, taking my shoes off at the door and stepping into my slippers. I'm 1,000% yes on this. I kind of already do this now. Oh no. Is it time for me to get my AARP on? No, I just have this thing about not wanting to track in whatever my shoes pick up from these NYC sidewalks all through my apartment. So I try and take my shoes off as close to the door as possible. And then I have a special place inside my apartment where I put all of my shoes and inside my wardrobe. Am I crazy for doing that? And then I don't like to walk around the apartment barefoot either. My feet are very sensitive. So I have a pair of like old Navy flip-flops that I walk around in. I know I'm doing the most, but I kind of dig this quote unquote old people thing. I really want to try this idea with slippers though. Doesn't that just sound so comfy? Not me about to go online right after this and buy me a new pair of slippers. But that's just self-care, right? Especially if you have a job where you're on your feet all day or have to wear uncomfortable shoes just to look cute, which I fully support, by the way. Sometimes you got to feel a little pain for the sake of fashion. So I say yes to the slippers at home. Actually, I say yes to the whole idea. What do you guys think? So another Redditor answered saying that their favorite old people thing is, quote, not caring about my looks or body image. I still struggle with that, especially in the culture we live in. But since I hit 50, I just care so much less. I'm definitely not going to judge my worth based on what someone else thinks. Now, I kind of agree with this, but not 100%. Hear me out. I totally get that there are parts of our culture that can be very image conscious. Some would even say image obsessed. And I'm on board with that point of view. I'm also rocking with the idea that someone's worth definitely should not be based on what someone else thinks about you and kind of shape shifting to fit into a mold that's not you living your most authentic self. Look at me being Oprah over here. Come on, Dex. Anywho, the only thing I would disagree with is saying that I don't care about my looks or body image at all. For me personally, I think it's okay and maybe even healthier to care about looks and body image as far as what that means for you. I think if there's a certain hairstyle you want to rock because it makes you happy, or there's a certain way you maintain your body image because it makes you feel all confident and sexy, get it, girl. More power to you. Now, don't get me wrong. If there's like an obsession around these things, or if you feel like you don't have value if you don't look a certain way, to me, that's problematic. And I just think that brings on, what was the name of that Candy and Demetria song? Unnecessary Trouble. Y'all remember that song? That was like from 2015, I think. Shout out to Candy and all the current and former Real Housewives of Atlanta. Love y'all. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on that. So another best habit of older people response said, quote, I carry paper printouts on my vacation itineraries. As someone with a common name, it helps if I have the confirmation number handy. Having a piece of paper with the information for my flight, hotel, rental car means I don't need my phone. Reddit user Foxtrot Sierra Tango, I am giving you the biggest virtual hug right now because this is something I will definitely be doing for my next trip. I go on solo trips a lot and I cannot tell you how many times I've been like filling out a customs form and have to go into my phone and cross-reference a million different emails, apps, Google for like the tiniest piece of information. What's the exact address of my resort or something like that. And then had to dig through my bag to find my boarding pass because I'd already forgotten my flight number. It's a mess. Oh, and don't get me started on if the information I need is on my phone and I don't have reception or it takes forever for things to load. There have been times that I've flown into Cancun finally made it to the airport, finally made it to the shuttle pickup area, just for me to be standing in front of the agent who's asking for my confirmation number. And we're standing there in silence while I am like on my phone trying to pull it up. And it's just loading for minutes. At that point, I've been traveling for hours. I'm feeling the beautiful Caribbean sun on my face. And all I want to do is relax on a beach with a tequila soda in my hand. Or 2. Or 4. Just get me there, right? So yeah, I think that's super solid advice. Next trip, I'm printing things out. Look, at this point, I'm going to take it one step further. I'm going to take me a highlighter and I'm going to highlight all those little details that I just know I'm going to have to look for that I'm never able to easily find. Because at the end of the day, if I'm in vacation mode, I just want to relax, relate, and release for as much of the trip as possible. I don't know. Maybe it's just me and Foxtrot. What do y'all think? Let me know. Ooh, and what about this one? User Ashamed Reporter 3171 said, I enjoy spending time in a peaceful and quiet home instead of partying. This is making me hold off on stocking up on the creamed corn a little bit longer because, for me, I'm still 50-50 on this. Sometimes I am all about a turn up, and when I'm in the streets, I am in the streets. I've been in many a bar where I walk in and before I can even get on to my bar stool, my bartender is sliding me over a double of my favorite drink and pouring me a shot of Fireball. Now, don't at me on the Fireball, y'all. Sometimes you just need something a little sweet and cinnamony. And who doesn't need a night every once in a while where it's you and your bestie or you and your crew running around town laughing for no reason, and the whole itinerary is another club, another club, another club, chicken nuggets, home, or somebody else's home. Even the walk of shame is worth it sometimes. Just saying. Then on the flip side, the elder in me is like, you just put on your slippers, which I still need to go online and buy, by the way. There's a new Real Housewives episode out. Let's just order pizza, pepperoni, mushrooms, black olives, thin crust, or a glass of wine, and just have the best night in. Even my friends will tell you, once my body makes contact with my bed, it's a wrap. I'm not going anywhere. It reminds me of a TikTok I did the other day. Remember that episode of Sex and the City where Carrie's in bed for the night, but then gets a phone call from someone asking her to come out to a bar? She not only answers the phone, but gets out of bed, gets dressed, and goes. Literally no one would do that now, right? So yes, some nights I am all about my comfy home time. And sometimes I'm like, how many splits can I do before I no longer can get up off the floor? Now, this one really got me feeling nostalgic. This one says, afternoon naps. Getting home, hopping in a quick shower to wash off the grime of the day, and laying down for a quick half-an-hour nap leaves me energized and refreshed for all of my afternoon/evening stuff. And I found it means I need less sleep at night to feel refreshed by at least 1 to 2 hours. So it's actually a net positive on the rest to sleep ratio. This reminds me of when I was a kid. Little Dex. I think my first big complaint was when I went to first grade in my Oshkosh Bigosh overalls. You remember those? And I was probably wearing them with my LA Gear sneakers. You know, the ones that lit up every time you walked? Yes. Man, I was looking fresh. And our teacher told us on the very first day that there would be no more nap time for us for the rest of the time we were in school. Clearly, she was not my favorite teacher. I was livid, y'all. When Mom picked me up from school that day, I told her about this injustice. And then my mom reminded me that my teacher in kindergarten actually had to make me take naps during nap time. And even then, I would just lay on the rug and pretend to be asleep until nap time was over. What was wrong with me? As far as I'm concerned, as an adult, naps are like a birthday gift now. If I could have a birthday gift every single day, I would. Same with naps. Now, most of the time when I nap, I set an alarm for like 45 minutes to an hour. But every now and then, I play nap roulette. That's a fun game where one time I woke up thinking it was 7 p.m. when actually it was 7 a.m. the next morning. Oops, but was it worth the extra rest? Yes, sir. And wait, don't they have required nap time in Spain? It's called siestas, where everything shuts down in the middle of the day so everyone can go home and rest before dinner time? They are living their best lives over there. Can we copy that and bring it over here, please? Who's with me? So those were some of my favorite words of wisdom from our friends on the internet. What did I miss? What are some other life hacks that just make living cozier, better, or just less stressful? Let me know in the comments. And on that note, until next time, it's a done data. Bye.